Deutsche Huforthopädische Gesellschaft is a non-profit organization of hoof orthopedic specialists with headquarters in Germany and training centers in 2 federal states, Mahlis in Saxony and Kirchdorf in Bavaria. The 5-member board comprises the following: Dr. Constanze Rasch, President, Astrid Arnold,
Birgit Höllmer,
Bianca Lücker, and Gerhard Jampert. A core of 23 founding members in 2000 has grown into an organization currently totaling 150. There are now approximately 300 hoof orthopedic specialists working with our methods. Graduates and members are represented throughout Germany and the neighboring European countries. Our goal is to elevate the level of knowledge regarding the horse's hoof and make new findings on keeping the musculoskeletal system healthy available to a broad public. A further related objective is to achieve greater transparency regarding avoidable sources of hoof and leg disorders. We are convinced that increasing the level of hoof treatment can save many horses from unnecessary harm and premature wear and tear. How do we work, and what are our underlying assumptions and principles? The variety of different hoof forms and wide range of hoof situations does not call for a generally valid approach to treating hooves, but instead the revealing of the shaping process that occurs specifically on the hoof. In recognition of these processes, the hoof orthopedic specialist can guide the situation and influence further development. In this way, biomechanical stress through subsequent corrective work on the hoof can be avoided. Cutting the hoof by trimming it on one side, the traditional form of hoof correction, is rendered superfluous. This avoids adjustment already undertaken by bone, cartilage and ligament structures being declared a maladjustment. Hoof and limbs of the horse react to ongoing individual static and dynamic stress with functional adjustment. Asymmetry in bones and joints is the rule. In our work, we accept these adaptations and rectify and prevent hoof deformation not through regular shaping, but through the targeted influencing of the future form of the hoof. Here is one specific example. The inner wall of the rear left hoof is markedly steeper in its angle to the ground than the opposite quarter wall. This suggests additional stress on this side of the hoof. The outer wall is longer and more angled. It is worn to a lesser extent by the horse. The excessively long horn of the hoof wall is bent outwards by the pressure of the ground, as well as being compressed upwards. Over time, the excessive length tips the hoof more and more to the opposite quarter and heel wall. The bearing edge of the lateral half of the hoof is worn to a lesser extent by the horse. It is wider and has a greater distance to the sole. The lever effect of the angled wall opens up the laminar layers. The wall of the medial half of the hoof has a steeper angle to the ground. The bearing edge is not as wide as the bearing edge of the lateral side, and is worn down to the level of the sole. This is the area that the horse bears down upon. More wear occurs here. The width of the lateral bearing edge is reduced from the outside in with a rasp. After treatment, the bearing edge is now thinner than the bearing edge on the other side. It has not been shortened and still projects as far above the sole as before treatment. However, as it is thinner, it can now wear down faster and therefore become shorter. Less wear is desired at this time on the medial bearing edge, so the width is left unchanged. The horse will continue to place more stress on it, but the bearing edge on the other side can nevertheless catch up, as wear has been accelerated. The hoof will gradually become straighter on this side. The gait of the horse itself causes wear here, which is why the wall remains thick and is not rasped. The inner wall of the hoof is still angled more steeply to the ground. The hoof rasp is not applied here at all. The outer wall is still longer and more angled, but it can now wear down more strongly as its bearing edge has been thinned. The high rasping of the wall means that this measure lasts longer, with the levering effect of the angled wall immediately reduced. This means the wall can grow back at a steeper angle in future. This is where the horse pushes off. It can continue to do this, but is not currently necessary to support wear in this toe area. The same hoof 7 months later. It has become successively straighter and also maintained a balance regarding wear between treatments. At the same time, it remains suitably asymmetrical. This type of hoof treatment works not only with common deformation of the horn, but also helps reliably in resolving even difficult hoof problems. The basis is the regular application of positive stimuli, which increase the scope for movement of the respective limbs instead of restricting them to an ideal regulation. The hoof orthopedic impulse did not take the form of an ongoing, retroactive correction of shape, but rather as a timely and forward-looking strengthening and guiding measure. To achieve the association goal of horse-friendly hoof treatment, the DHG e.V. is active in a number of areas. We maintain a teaching facility with a 2-year course for qualification as a hoof orthopedic specialist, as well as offering further training for members. We hold annual hoof conferences for professional audiences at universities. We participate in research projects and also carry out our own research. In addition, we operate our own preserving workshop for training and research purposes, as well as raising awareness amongst horse owners through publications, internet sites, trade fair participation with presentations and displays, and teaching videos.